The next topic I want to talk about is taxes. I've been told, and people always say, that two things are certain in life: death and taxes. And now I'm gonna rebut that whole thing. Taxes is definitely not one of them. Taxes is definitely not unavoidable and is definitely not certain. So let me put this into perspective. The wealthiest 1% of the United States households failed to disclose about 21% of their income, according to a new study by the IRS researchers and economists. Per the IRS, because some income is not reported directly to the IRS, like when you get paid for your job, they're able to avoid paying taxes using sophisticated methods like using offshore accounts, which has helped about $16 billion of tax income to be basically not reported. Using pass-throughs like businesses such as LLCs to move money through, which perfectly legal, and it's something that I am now learning how to do. So 2 ways that people usually avoid taxes in the 1% is: 1, they just offshore that money. They find a way to get it out of the country as quickly as possible so they don't have to pay taxes on it. Or 2, they use LLCs, which is something that I'm going to be honest, I'm trying to learn how to do. I'm going through that process right now, because if you can make a purchase through that and then you can count it as a business cost, you can get some tax write-offs because it's a capital expense for your business. So that's one thing that a lot of people are doing. But part of the reason that this has become such a huge problem is that the tax enforcement is not what it was once upon a time. The IRS has lost about 15,000 workers in the last decade, meaning there are less audits of people's businesses. There's less pressure on people to actually file their taxes properly, because when they know that there's less audits going on, they don't really care to actually chase down any of it. Which means, like I said last year, it is much cheaper for the IRS to go after somebody who owes like $1,000 on taxes than it is for them to try and chase after people who owe like $1 million in taxes. Because those people will hold it up in court, and those people always know a finesse, and that means it costs the IRS way more money. And why would the IRS waste their time when they know that they can get somebody else to be on a payment plan, paying interest on top of it, and then get some of that money back? And so this is how there's just two worlds. There is a world for those who have monies, and like I said, once upon a time, rules are just suggestions when you have a lot of money. When you have a lot of money, you don't necessarily have to abide by all the rules. It's just suggested because you can basically find ways to get yourself off. So that's just one thing to note when it comes to the whole thing of taxes. The agency's commissioner, the IRS commissioner, Charles Rettig, asked Congress for more funds, arguing that for every $1 spent on enforcement returns $5 to $7 of taxes. Collecting unpaid income taxes from the 1% could bring in about $175 billion into the treasury annually, was the conclusion that the IRS came to. So, I'm just saying, taxes are not necessarily unavoidable. Taxes are not certain. You can find ways to avoid it. There's a lot of people who do that on a regular basis. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of the Rambling Mind podcast. If you want more of the Rambling Mind podcast, or if you want to listen to the whole episode that you just heard, go check it out on any podcast listening platform, whether that be Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher. I could go on, but you guys already know which podcast you love to use to listen to. So go check it out. Link down in the description as well. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.